Races to go, and all on the ovals. Up next, it's the Wausau Springs 300 from Barrie Speedway. This third of a mile tri-shaped oval is always action-packed when the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series comes to town. It's tight, side-by-side, door-handle-to-door handle action, where in order to finish, you have to survive. The Wausau Springs 300 can be seen on TSN September 15th. And we continue under red, so Barrie in a couple of weeks' time, and then down to Nova Scotia, Antigonish, and finally wrapping it up at Kawartha Speedway September 22nd. It's playing all into Kennington's hands here, isn't it?
Well, we're into the last three races are all ovals, and given the scenario that he's put us through in the midsummer with his streak of wins on ovals and how strong he's been, well, it could be a record year of wins if the young fella can even win one or two of those races.
Yeah, it's three ovals to finish off the 2012 season, but three very different racetracks. I mean, you've got Barrie Speedway, which is a third of a mile tri-oval. Now, it plays a lot like a smaller tri-oval, more like a quarter mile, but they measured it. They say it's a third of a mile. But as DJ Kennington once said, there he is there, he said it's like flying a jet fighter in a gymnasium. He says it's so fast and it's so tight and there's so much concrete around that anything can happen in that race. And then you go on to Riverside, again, another third mile oval, but it's high banked. It's a lot faster, a lot more room to race. And then, of course, you round out the season at Kawartha Speedway, which is a bigger racetrack, 0.4 of a mile. And that one has two really good racing grooves. So three very different circuits to finish off the season.
You almost see frustration in the eyes and on the face of Andrew Racer. Frustration right now because let's go racing. I want to get out there. As you take a look at Kerry Mix, who is a former winner here and still part of the championship picture, although a limited season. The frustration, though, for Ranger and those chasing Kennington. Obviously, they want to win here, need those points, but where Kennington is right now, this does not bode well for him either, for Ranger.
Well, it's all about a points battle, and if you want to take DJ against Ranger, it's about who's going to hold the record for the most races won by year end. Both have big egos, both have tremendous talent, and both want to be the man to beat.
And both sit on 16 career NASCAR Canadian Tire Series wins. Andrew Ranger, for a long time, held the record based on the amount of road course races he had won in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, and then DJ Kennington rifled off that string of 5 straight wins here in 2012, and he's back in the overall picture as far as a record book is considered.
So we've fired up. You may have just caught the number 56 of Howie Scannell from Milton, Ontario, being pushed down pit lane. So what's going to happen? Green, white, checkered, Todd, have they figured it out?
Well, they've said to the teams that if we keep going without any further cautions, we believe we can get all 23 laps in. But if there are more cautions, then they will start to cut down the distance of this race due to the time restriction on it. So right now, they're going to try and go the full distance, but that's up to the teams to decide.
Saw Hugo Vanini in the 97 pull up behind the 81 of Larry Jackson. And he was going to give him a push, but I think NASCAR said, you know what, we've got trucks to do that.
Absolutely. You don't want to knock the nose in on your race car and just have another fiasco and have some fiberglass all over the racetrack. So better sportsman for sure, but let the tow truck do the job.
Jackson out of Oakville, Ontario, another rookie, comes out of the late model NASCAR modified tour, and like so many who get on a road course for the first time, his quote was, "I just want to keep the wheels on the thing, please." So he survived so far, but again, shutting them down when they're hot, you sometimes don't get them to refire.
Well, I said that before we went to red flag, that you got vaporized fuel in the carburetors, you got starters that are now very hot, and they don't like to work when they're real hot. So anyway, lots of things could happen. We're all refired. Now we're looking forward to finishing off this race.
One thing I did notice is the 4 of Austin Dillon, who's running well inside the top 10 in 7th position, and when he shut off the car, it was unable to refire. They moved the vehicles up a little bit, and he did get it refired. Now it looks like he's going to find a spot. I was going to say he was running well back in the field, so I didn't know what had happened, if he wasn't able to keep a speed, but There they go through that speedy dry, and how slippery it is.
Yeah, it's that corner is going to be treacherous. Even after a couple laps of racing, you're going to have to stay out of that line. You get up there, you're going to spin the tires, take a chance at breaking an axle, take a chance at getting in the fence. You got to stay out of it. So that's going to change everything. The racing line is now not the place to be.
But Billy, if you're a racer and you're in there for position in a pass, are you going to really back out?
Not a chance.
Yeah, but that is Dave brings up a good point, because that is one of the spots you said going into 8 and 9 before heading down towards this area right here. That was one of the spots. Now you have one fewer places to possibly pass.
Well, the unfortunate side is racing is so competitive that somebody's going to take a shot at it, and then it could be a win, it could be a lose, but somebody's going to take a shot at it.
Well, the lights on the pace car are still on, so it means they'll go one more, and you saw the cleanup crew continuing. So the lead that he thought he had to give back. Andrew Ranger, our pole sitter, continues to lead. J.R. Fitzpatrick, but a car that appeared to be a little different than the one he started with.
It did, and he's now armed with a little bit more confidence in knowing that, yes, I can get past that 84 car if indeed I choose to try it. So Andrew Ranger had sat back at the beginning of the race, allowing J.R. Fitzpatrick to open up a gap of almost a second and a half on the 27 car, waiting for that first caution. I think Andrew Ranger was. It came, bunched the field back up, and then he went racing.
And then you've got Robin Buck sitting back there in his Quaker State Dodge, the 48-year-old out of Campbellville. It's going to be his final event of the season. Doesn't do the ovals. How aggressive does he get? What does he want to do?
Well, he's going for broke because he has nothing to lose in the points. It's all about race wins for that team. So he's going to be aggressive. He's going to be on the loud pedal. He's going to be right up on the chip to get right in there and get as much as he can get on this restart.
Kick to the teeth for the 27 Tim Hortons Dodge of Jeff Lapsevich. A right front tire looks to be flat on that car as he comes down pit lane. Or very, very soft anyway.
Well, he was fourth here a year ago, twice voted Canada's Road Racer of the Year back in 2003, 2004, Jeff Lapsevich.
And he was sitting up inside the top 10 and poised for a very good finish here at the NAPA Autopro 100. So unfortunately, he won't get it because there's still a lot of cars on the racetrack and a lot of cars running.
Well, it looks like they're starting to heat things up a little bit. A lot of front hoods are missing.
Well, some cars had to take them off for overheating because they get a little bump and grind action that close off the air intake to the radiator. So you take the hood off so the air can exit the race car is what the real purpose there is.
So we'll take a look for our friendly flagman as they go down between 6, 7, 8, and 9. We just may see him step out, almost like a police officer does with a radar gun. Just step out from behind the bushes, and this time hold up the flag instead of the radar.
Yeah, except we're happy to see this one step out of the bushes.
So here they go through. This is 6 and 7 on the backside.
So Billy, DJ Kennington currently sits in 5th spot. Again, we've talked about his points lead coming into this race, 37 points. Is he in the thick of the trouble zone going into turn 1?
Well, there's a lot of stuff around him right there. Kerry Mix, even though it's just a part season, he is in the points hunt. Austin Dillon's just here to win and get some seat time. So, yeah, a beehive of activity for sure. When you're sitting 6th in that top 10, it's kind of a danger spot, but he's a veteran. He knows how to get in and out of trouble.
And he's got veterans around him, too. The 0-2 of Kerry Mix likely won't push a pass on him, won't do anything bonsai from way back. And I'm going to look back to the 4 and the 10. They may not know how well these brakes are going to react in these race cars this late in a race.
Well, there's our friend out. Came out from behind the bushes. The lights have gone off on the pace car and we're ready to go.
Well, here we go. As I always say, light the fuse. This is going to be dynamite. We've got a racetrack with some issues. We got some hungry drivers looking for a win, and everybody wants to beat the guy from Roxton Pond, Quebec, because this is his home turf.
And you want to be a little bit smart here, as you can hear the crowd applaud the drivers as they make their way around. You want them to be smart. You want them to finish under green. You want them to be racing and not just continually pick up the pieces.
The tires getting cleaned off. Of course, they cooled off during that red flag time, and now they've got a little bit of dirt on them, a little bit of speedy dry. And so you see the drivers trying to get them as warm and as clean as possible for this restart. Now they're doubling up.
There, look at that. He had to wait. You saw Steckley saying, "Where do you want to go, Robin Buck?" Inside, outside, let me know. Come on, now they found their spots. Once again, the outside. There's the choice. There's the choice taken by Fitzpatrick. Pace car, lights are off as they come to the end of the front straight to complete lap 22. Here we go. Will this decide it here in Montreal for 2012? On the gas a little early, a little 3 wide. They're sort of spreading out. Wait, boys. Wait, boys. Now we're under green again. And you can see right away Fitzpatrick gets protective.
JR went right down the bottom to protect that. And he gets a little bump going to the corner. All kinds of sideways. Steckley in on the action. 66, Robin Buck hung on the outside.
Pushing him again.
Here's
another again into that rear quarter panel. Here comes Steckley.
The dust settling in behind as Steckley cuts through the grass as well, trying to put a pass on the 66.
And Buck is trying to take the inside line, grabs that spot right back, Robin Buck.
But we're heading for the action zone. We're heading for the oil drive, Vic. Watch this as everybody tries to tiptoe through the tulips as we head down into 10.
J.R. Fitzpatrick and Andrew Ranger have had an ongoing feud for many, many years in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Fitzpatrick had said, the hatchet has been buried. We're good friends now. That may change in just a minute, heading to turn 10. In through 8 and 9 first.
Here, tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Everybody, look at the lines, just a little different as you suggested, Billy. Everybody hugging the inside, staying away. Apexes change. Now looking to the outside. Oh, getting a little sideways. Austin Dillon in the number 4.
Now the 10 car there, got underneath them to steal the spot. These guys that are getting seat time having a good ride here.
So once again, Fitzpatrick slides it over, followed by Ranger.
See a couple drivers towards the back of the pack locking up the right front tire as they head for turn number 10. But here comes Ranger. He is in that slipstream in the draft. He'll look to pull out and make a move into turn 13.
Again, protective right down the middle of that back straight.
Oh, he locked up the right front, did J.R. Fitzpatrick. The Equipment Express Chevy getting the most out of it. But here comes Ranger back at him.
One more to go here in Montreal. The white flag is out. Ranger will look inside, outside, over the curbs, through the center. 1, 2, now on the gas and up the hill.
One more time down through this back section. Very technical. You got to hit your marks every time, and Ranger's going to look inside, outside, trying to rattle the kid.
And Fitzpatrick is not blocking because he's choosing that inside lane. He's not moving in reaction to what Andrew Ranger is doing. He's just running a defensive line.
Oh, goodness, how he just drifts that car over. 4-wheel slide by Ranger.
Oh, we talked about what Kennington would do. He got out of the beehive. He's sitting back in 5th. He's got 7, 8 car lengths back to the next set of cars. And look, he's still trying to pick up a spot on Steckley.
Well, Steckley got all kinds of crooked off that last turn, and here comes Kennington out in the dust. So is Fitzpatrick.
Boy, this time they take the wide line through 8, 9. Now they'll head down, make that slight left-hander towards the final hairpin.
DJ lost a lot of ground getting out there in the kitty litter, but still sitting very safe in 5th spot.
Oh, it looks like a yellow's come out. Who's gone off?
And that is Joey McComb. A huge off for the driver, the S-Bar number 50. That's at pit entrance, so turn 13 and 14. No. Mike Schultz in the 11 car from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
So also you get the rookie from the Sault Schultz as they come together, and McComb from Ajax, Ontario.
That 50 car, all kinds of tore up on the right-hand side.
Now, it'd be my guess that the 11 car climbed the right rear tire of the 50 going into that hairpin, and probably jumped over top of him with the look of the damage to that fiberglass body.
Now, there is also a time limit factor here of 75 minutes. All the crew is out to celebrate, so they are going to end this under the caution, and J.R. Fitzpatrick will win for a second time here in Montreal.
Andrew Ranger did all he could to try and push the 84 out of the way. He tried to dive underneath him if he could, but he could not. J.R. Fitzpatrick, the quickest on the day, and he will relish this victory. This is one race that the driver of the 84 wanted to win, and J.R. Fitzpatrick is going to celebrate in style.
Well, we talked about it. He went after him, got the pole. Andrew Ranger was the quickest guy in practice, and the young fella from Air went and got the job done.
Qualified on pole and led almost the entire way. Of course, Andrew Ranger passed him. That lap did not count. So J.R. Fitzpatrick put back in top spot, and then he knew what he had to do. He had to keep that 27 car behind him, and he did just that.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, who picked up a season opening win, thought his car was scary fast. He picks up the win here in Montreal. He started on the pole, was challenged a couple of times. J.R. Fitzpatrick wins for a second time in Montreal, holding off Andrew Ranger with Robin Buck in his final road race in third, Scott Steckley, and DJ Kennington doing what he wanted to do, surviving with Timmy Hill and Austin Dillon, the American Invaders, in 6 and 7. And then on through Trevor Siebert. Xavier Coupal, the 21-year-old, wonderful driver, him up into the 9th. Kerry Mix fading on through Ron Beauchamp Jr. in 14th place. J.R. Fitzpatrick is your winner here in Montreal.
Here's your winner in Montreal. J.R. Fitzpatrick climbs out with a smile on his face. That was a pretty good battle that you had with Andrew Ranger, and I know how satisfying it is for you to win it.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling, you know, but for some reason when we sat there, my tires cooled down and the car took 2 or 3 laps to get going, so that green-white checker was going to be pretty crazy, you know. Obviously, I don't like seeing it end like that, but a win's a win, so we're definitely going to take it. The car was really good at the beginning when the tires were hot, so I think once we got them hot, we would have been good.
Now, you always seem to, you have the kiss of celebration, of course, you always seem to want to take that outside line for the start and the restarts. What was the thinking?
Yeah, Andrew was a lot better getting the one and through the front section. Me and I was better than him in the back. So it was going to make for a really interesting race, but I got to thank the whole crew. They worked hard. Our setup's getting better. You know, we on cold tires we weren't good, but on good hot ones we were, so we're definitely going to take it.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, a winner here in Montreal.
DJ Kennington, of course, came in with a 37-point lead, and he continues to lead. But J.R. Fitzpatrick now with the win has moved up into a second-place tie with Andrew Ranger with 3 ovals remaining. The NAPA Autopro 100 brought to you by Bowers & Wilkins, available at Future Shop, by Camusino.net, and by Leland Industries, quality fasteners, quality service, driven to win. Congratulations to J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's the winner here at the NAPA Auto Pro 100. A reminder, coming up September 8th, it's on to Barrie Speedway and the third of a mile tri-oval for the Wata Springs 300. You'll see it on TSN. Now on behalf of Billy Rouse, Dave Bradley, Todd Lewis, thank you for joining us. The NAPA Auto Pro 100 on Canada's sports leader, TSN.